السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أحلى جمعة بزالخاش قرب بزالخاش قد أخولي مسلمة التحيات كيسي بورته الحمد لله رب العالمين إكي زبني واتاي الله زبورة دينا اللي حمد وشكرك باقي ما أي خميس سامات كل واشنطن مليت حبساش يقدر بسم الله بايتي بي واشنطن زبون مساء مسكين سو من مسلان أحد بي قد إزرام مسبيح الفساشني وقتيو إن شاء الله الله تستبي إنكم بزعلات شيء يشابه اللهم قل بيت خشاق سلطان محمد وزوك الصوم قيس محمد عبد السلام قيستي حياة زياد قيس عبد الله شريف قيس سمير علياتشوم الله يستخو خير الجزاء اللي بيفز بتساج سال التاياج إناتشوم متقبل ما موصد ما إناتشوم صورة ما حلو بزيارة ناشكو تموشا حزبي كتير شيء الله استعيد لك زيو حدكم من نشبح وقت زيو مساء زيو بي اللهم قل بيتي خشاخ أرقو تفز بتساج سال أمام وقت لارينا حرتي أماش حسي بزناني بوقت بي الله يستخو يستهو خير جزاء ألف شكرا فز بتساش سال أتاي انت ذا سدونا فز بأور قد تساش نارا الحمد لله
Egypt is the establishment of a principle of balance, of law and order, if you will. The very scale of justice that we see in this Western world, some blind lady holding the scale. The very symbol we see in a doctor's office when they have the serpent surrounding what looks like a tongue. What their understanding comes from your history, your understanding of philosophy, your understanding of nature, your ability to use, commune, and relate. The trick is, some of our students, like the rest of the world, got a little beside themselves, plagiarized and rewrote what you have created, and then represent it to you. And they call it represent. And we think by taking the representation of your own knowledge and history that you move forward. No, you only move forward when you put those things back into the perspective of where they came from. Now you might ask, what does that have to do with a drum and these instruments? Well, these are instruments, as they say in the Western world. What is an instrument? An instrument means tool. What do we do with tools? Oh, we got various tools for many things. This particular tool, or these tools, are used to invoke and create sound and vibration. Because sound and vibration is the core of your communication. When you open your mouth and speak, you are invoking sound and vibration. So when everyone says sound and vibration, you see, it's not the words you say, it's how you say the words that give it meaning. That give it meaning. It's not the drums we play. Oh, no, no, no. It's how we play. The drum can communicate with that you see. The drum can also communicate with that you cannot see. Through sound and vibration. And we use the things that are available to us. This particular drum comes from the days of Mali. I don't even know originally how old this drum may be, but I can say it was around 900 years ago. I can say that during the days of one of the, how about the richest man that walked the earth? Now some say that would be Solomon, but have you heard of Mansa Musa? Mansa Musa, during the empire of Mali, was so rich in gold, in oh, you name it. He had a caravan of over 60,000 people that he took on his journey from Mali into Mecca, into Cairo, Egypt. And he left so much gold that they had an economic crisis. They had more wealth than they knew what to do. That was their crisis. All legendary. You can Google it. This is part of your history. This is part of your story. And his wealth did not diminish or demean him. He didn't, how would you put it? I got mine, you better get yours attitude. No, they believed in the basic principle of collective work and responsibility. And these are some of the elements we learned through our past in terms of how we can move forward. Then we can come over to the great empires of places like Songhai and the ancient kingdom of Ouagadougou. We know the capital, Ouagadougou, that would be ancient Ghana. Today we know the present Ghana. And we know of some of those who are Ashanti and Akan, and their forms of communication, various languages. We speak many languages. And they also use symbols for language. This particular symbol of a bird that looks like it's looking back as it walks forward is called Sankofa. Sankofa means in order to move forward, one must learn from the past. That's all it means. Some say go back and fetch it. That's another way of saying it. So we speak in many ways. What we wear speaks. How we smile speaks. The language or languages we learn have their own way or view of expressing reality. This is the power of language. Like if I moved up to Burkina Faso, north of Ghana, and I asked to find a word in their language called fiction. There is no word in their language called fiction. They see either truth or you're not telling the truth. Their concept of this isn't true, but I'll give it to you is not the same as this Western world. So every language brings with it its own reality. The more we travel, the more we interact, the more we can learn the nuances of communication. In almost every language that the people of color speak when they greet has to do with wanting to know how are you? Is everything okay? If I were hanging out with some of the Yoruba people, rooted out of Nigeria, but they're all over, I would say, "Ṣé àlàáfíà ani," which is in English translated, "Is everything all right with you? How are you?" If I were to say, "Aminobu," that would be, I don't know the specific name of the language, but this is what is spoken in parts of Egypt, Cairo in particular, where I spent a little time. It's like, how are you? If I go down the street or back to Brooklyn, I might say, "What's up?" Want to know how you doing, how you feeling. Everything all right, as they say. That is our nature. That's in our DNA. We want to know about the well-being of each other. So when we know these things, we can better relate and communicate. Now, speaking of names and things, I didn't tell you my name, did I? Or where I was from. I think I did, but basically I was born on a Long Island on the eastern shores of the Atlantic Ocean. Some people call this Long Island, New York, and specifically Brooklyn. My roots are on my going back ancestry-wise. Some of my roots or my people migrated from the South, as in Texas, as in Mississippi, as in Alabama, and found their way to New York. And for reasons of survival and in hope in seeking a better way, a better life, and to avoid some of the craziness or madness that people who don't act humane do, to try to find a more humane environment. Well, I can't say that that's 100% New York, but it was an opportunity of pursuit, because we saw some crazy things in New York, but we saw some good things as well. So, I was named after my father, Charles. My father's father was named Charles. My firstborn son is Charles. My older brother and my younger brother was named Charles, our way of honoring our elders. My great-grandfather, no, his name was Henry. And we carry that name as a sign of respect for the firstborns in our family, because of what my grandfather meant to us, my father meant to us, my older and younger brothers, my firstborn son, and on and on and on. As I got older, back somewhere around 1965, my parents took me to the World's Fair. I saw what I later found out was a performance by a legendary drummer named Babatunde Olatunji out of Nigeria. The first man to actually win a Grammy Award here in the United States for an album of playing drums. And the name of the album was called Drums of Passion. But that's not the only thing he did. He brought his gift, and he came here to be an engineer. And he originally came from Nigeria to Morehouse. And he had questions like, do you Africans have houses? Do you live in trees? Do you hang with the lions? And all he could do was shake his head. And he realized that some of these people weren't being funny. They were just miseducated. And he pursued a life outside of his engineering degree to work with a man named Alvin Ailey. Is it Alvin Ailey? The great choreographer that had a dance studio in Harlem, New York. And they collaborated to create a cultural center where they can not only teach the art of drumming and the art of performing arts, but also history, her story, your story, my story, our story, to straighten out this miseducation. And he dedicated his life doing so. I had the opportunity of meeting and working and taking lessons from him as an adult years later. There is so much to learn from our elders, and sometimes they have to be encouraged to share their information with us. Sometimes they don't, because of our apparent lack of interest in learning. So it's a two-way street, because it is our elders who walk the path you have yet to walk. Outside of the drums, I pursued many years working in corporate America. Would fly all around the country teaching computer classes. Had 2 training centers, one in Chicago and one in Dallas-Fort Worth. And then I moved to executive support, where my communication skills and technical skills were shared to raise the bar for the executives of this company called Sprint. And it was all right. I enjoyed what I was doing. But it didn't identify me. I identified it. But many of those I worked for and was supporting were so caught up in their ambition of what they were doing, they forgot who they were. And all of a sudden, somebody wants to buy this book for all the employees of this area of Sprint I work for. And the name of the book was called Who Moved My Cheese? With these little mice in it, and all the mice is happy because they got all this cheese. And then somebody moves the cheese and the mice don't know what to do. Some of the mice perish. Well, the reason why they gave this book out is because they planned a big layoff. A lot of people were going to lose their jobs. Now, for me, I didn't worry as much because of the skills I acquired, mostly self-taught. But there were those, like in my role as executive support, I had to clean out 2 offices of executives that were let go. And because they were let go, or were told they were going to be let go, they tried to kill themselves. They were not successful. One, a gunshot in the mouth. I forget the other, but it had to do with a gun. And they survived, but their lives were never the same. Why did they do that? Because their identity was associated in what they were doing and not who they were. One of them was Irish. Yeah, you know the history of Irish people who migrated to the Americas wasn't pretty, but it persevered. If he had remembered that, maybe he wouldn't have been so foolish to try to take his life over a job. Then I had, and I'm sure we're familiar with tambour, but I have some other instruments.
You know what we call it, that one?
What?
We call it duff.
Duff?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put that in my mental library. Duff.
Duff. And Harari.
Okay, beautiful. Now you have different sized duffs, right?
A little bit bigger.
Right. So do they have specific names?
Like what?
Well, I'll give you an example. These all are shaped the same, and in the West African language, Yoruba, Ashanti, what have you, they call them, as a family name, they call them Junju. In America, they see the letter D and we say Dundun, but Dundun, Junjun the same. So Dundun, as a family, has three roles. You have the mother, the father, and the child. Now the mother makes the rules of this family. The mother is the bass, or the lowest sound. The father, the kenkeni, the protector of the rhythm, the integrity. It's more or less the tenor. And the child, the kinkini, the upbeat, the high pitch. Now you can play with your hand, but typically the Dundun family is skin on both sides, like cow skin. Each of them are one name, but specific as far as sound, separate name. Dundun, Sangbani, Kinkini. And we play with sticks typically. Translated in English is celebrate, celebrate, celebrate your life today. Nuts. And most of the people of Cuba look like you and me. Yeah. Not like Ricky Ricardo and Lucille Ball. That's before y'all's time, I guess. So, another percussion instrument we shake. And this one is called djembe. Like I said, out of the days of Mali. Now this drum is found all over the world. It's played with the hand. Three basic sounds: bass, the palm in the center, tones, the flat part of the fingers, and when the fingers are curved, slap or ta. Gu, pa, ta. And when I put those three sounds together, I'm giving you a teaser for what to expect tomorrow. I'm going to put you guys to work. But today I'll teach you a song, as I promised. And that song is called Alanga. Alanga Salabango, Alanga Moke E. And what that means is now is the time. Not someday, not one day, but now. That old man I was talking about that used to critique the writings of Brother Malcolm X, his name is John Henry Clark. One day I asked him a question. I asked him, what do we do to help improve the conditions of our communities and our families, so ambitious. So he told me, as he put it, I'm going to give you the same words I gave Malcolm X. He said, do your best work. Whatever that is you do or want to do your best, and everything else will work itself out. So that's the advice I give, and that pertains to this song in terms of the time for action. So, we speak in call and response. So, what I say, you say, or what I say, you say. So, let's learn the words. Alanga. I don't hear anybody. Alanga. Salabango. Alanga. Moke'e. That means now is the time. The time for action is now. And the melody goes like this. Alanga salabango, alanga moke'e. Not bad, not bad. Alanga salabango, alanga moke'e. Alanga, alanga, alanga. The time for action is now. Very good, very good. Think about that. We'll go over it tomorrow. We're going to add the power of sound and vibration with that. And I guess the time or the action for the rest of the night is to enjoy the fire and get yourself a good night's sleep. Any questions? In many ways. What we wear speaks. How we smile speaks. The language or
يتروز أخو الجمعة سبتي مشيسو يا إلى بيعزي باش بحمد سابجي حيث فاناش وكربو اللي زال ميت من عم نزل سلسلة إكسبليناش لنزال كذا مني مسال كربوت محد بعض كده كنتياج أزوك الصوم زي باش بحمد سنبي أوركو تنفذ بتسجيل برنامج النارا يزوم كربوات شقيت محل بوزان أبزيو سمزيو إياش فرق زي موقع بلشوا زنلهم ينفعنا زارين تا إلما يجيز باخ إناش سوزو حلو بإنترست بزتاشي بخشون زالياتش أحد قرية إن الدرسياتش أغاني قر كربو محتو بوزان كوت بلشوا قارو يصور بوزان كوت أقو قرا بتيح قرا كربو بلشوا محد ساعة ديك أشو مدي أفوا مثلك أكاد يسبر زالي مثلي موقع والموقع مسيدي جميل ما تنما دايقرفز بيقورا من تيوقظالو سو أمام بيت محد بازال كوتا فكر صوبح أخوة بيكسبلوناش بازال وقاج أوركو تفز بيقديرو درسين تا مع الحمد لله إنه جستو بيم يوقظال حلمة يا إنبي بلتشو قار كربوياتش مولود كربالاي كربوياتشو أمام بيكسبلوناش سال حل ناقرا زي والدي اللي يبقي برزال خونا الدرسيزو نتوقظ أخدش حلقو قرا فز بي أورشي إنتان قرا بيدالي اللهم قن
ساحل زايو بري خيوا ودبري إدبري عمر إمام زخينيا نارجو بري أو بدل زفات
استوزو مسكينزو أباسو على حالو زالشي أشو زيارة نرسانا ما بزبي قدير انت تايزو ما شاء الله بجيحشي حلا كافتيريا حلا أزوك الصوم مالبي حلا تايزو اللي قدير باركينج حلا الدراج سو بجي حتى ياج حدا حلو بفز بقدير انت والداش حفزي لمدبو زال قرآن جاي مدرسة حليو أوركوتا سبيشالي قدير جروبي خانو محارو جروب فز بأتايزو يتميش على التاي انت بجي ترسيك مدبالي فرقنا انت أباصو بسالات كل سكدوك أدا دالشي أشو أكتيفيتي أشو موشالين فز بيت ميت سال التاي انت شغل زوم حلو بفز بي ميني تركي بعتي تفرق على الحلو بفز بي قمصان أمام بيت تشي خلو استوزو ديزاين زو قد شي زوم فز بي أوركوتا تساشا لو ولداش أمري منديتو فرايدي مدرسة حالي وزوك الصوم قرآن حفظ حالي ومنديتو فرايدي لمدوزال الحمد لله زودي بزالاتش سلو بيفز بنسيب حالي وانتي لازخ ولداش وقت ويكوزالة تاياش موسد ما مسامات سباط اين خانا محندي متبيلا يتا ولداش متلا مدأدي بدي كيف نزالو نغشا زانا ولدا سنة وحافظ موشا اللي بيت خشنا زالنتا بجيح روماتش حاليو ابن مهدار لي خش سالو زودي بيخش قروم بدي كتير حاوسي بس حاوسياش حاليو ما أوركوت التساشال أتايزوز شي خلو بوكوت الله يستويز شي خلاش تبرشاش دي حساباش كت إزيلم الحمد لله والله زارئين لي سحلو بجح نسيباش حلنا نسيباش سنة متنا فرقنا بيوقر قد حرازانا الطيبين الحمد لله رب العالمين حوجي جي مقال بيم الله يست أيو أوتريو الله جنة بتسوشي وزلا قدو حلو في الميخ من أمسي مني مسلي مدرسة مسكيت زوبح فابريكا زوبح سنة مثلي مذبح عادة وتاريخ ودين وقد وزلا حدا أبزا شلونا الله يستيو حوجي وزرني وإنبي بعد زنا ليخ نصيب زمي يخوني ذا نساهل دبي فز بقدير نصيب حالان دا إلى زخان جي بين ما حسب مدلق إني ذاتهم يخونال مرازانا وانسا مازانا دلا قلاي بمويلام إنا يساد يخونال إنا كلبانا ما ولدا سيدي حسب نقر بادوا أم السنة بانا قرا بجيح تأموشني فركا يزانا شياج حالو إلما أمناخ أوركتم دين زنا بحيك قاطر نزال عاد سنة وتاريخ سنة ونلم دي بيوزانا التاياش ومتقوني فرق نقر يبتونم الله درك إلبام يوم بني آدم التباشي الزود يوم بني آدم التباشي حال الله يدول بحال قسم زنا والله لا لنا زان نبي والتأجمي بي ورقز ما زنا بعد زنا وأم السنة لي أي تلا أخ اللهم قال الزود يروح بيترزع الكافتيريا زودها ما شاء الله اللي بيفز بيت تسلسل كوتين تسجي خلو أنا بدك سبيت شكلي بوقع الديبي كيستا حوسة عليو ما شاء الله إذا قاعد تشين تنزل لحده يقوم سال إنه بنت مسكين صوت خلو ما شاء الله ويزون حلو ما شاء الله ما شاء الله واشنطن بنبرغان السلية إيريبي الله النسيب سر إيريبي
Agam garang gari, agrawaram alim madabaye. Hakim wahalikum, sifwa kaskabalum, harbanya jwil kiptiu, tabsina zaro boziya araziya ada, yirakhbu bafayda, yiyu ziyara ashfu, amesti bari uletfu, kufal goita bari goita.
يا أخا متذكر بلي تروزا خو قطي محل بكافتيريا زونتا تزبي أوركو تقدير ندوستوزو تزبي تساشان بدي أباسوتا غارزو كيرازو غارغارزو لبك يا شازان ولداشت في قربو
أوجج مجاهد سيخانو لو تاغن صوفي جايا بم ستر ودن دوا بم قول
وريك هذا ما يقوم السودان بقولات وعايدة بس يا شباب تسمع
زكماري يومتي باواخو باب الفتح للريدة قرب اللان كل بإمام بري قرمق بازي مرقو بري مستميزي نعم أسمي باري حاجة لي يوتيوبو حجي بادي حربو زي لابي يخبوبو أو إيزيني كي حروزي يا أرازي يا آدا يرخبوبو فايدة يو زيارة أشفو حمستي باري ولدخو كفل قويتا بري قويتا زيارة زكم
سلبي الحمد لله رب العالمين دد حلق حتى يروح قميل يريزني ميل يدل قميل أوركو تانتا كتعسا حجيسكو تا دد كل دبليلي تا ما الله كتعسا متوادد زاناش كتكاحل زاناش دد لي نتجزا زاناش الله وشانا دد لي نبر زاناش الله وشانا الله هو والدايسنا مراد لي تستي لي دابلنا إن شاء الله ذان نبرتاي ويك تزنا ندواب بها درساسا يوزي هيك خاشد بخاش كتلي اللهم كان خير جزاء.
تردي ذات بوا من دمبو بحل بي حلس بي ويميل بي مدي في تنوالوي حدث بكلا وامير ذكلاي إتين ترلوي كندا بالاي ومدي في تني